Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Bloons Adventure Time Tower Defense. Just felt like playing this one since I haven't done it on stream in a while, but I've been definitely playing off stream a lot. So I have way more progress than I did on the last episode that I've shown on YouTube, which I kind of apologize for. Not entirely, but at least a little bit, just because it was a little bit repetitive, and anything I'm going to be showing you is essentially just going to be a repeat of something I've already done for the most part. So, you know, I'm saving it for when it's more interesting and I've got more characters to work with, all, you know, better trinkets and all that. So I'm basically just saving you all the time that I spent getting everything I need. So actually, Commander Cassie is the only character that I still need to unlock. I have pretty much everyone else. I just recently got Juggernaut Max, so I'm not super familiar with him or his upgrades and stuff. Let's see. So that would actually be really good for... Where's the Ice King? Because... Oh, he even has an extra slot for trinkets that I didn't even realize he had. So I don't need to swap anything out for that. Cool. Also, I really hope you guys can hear the game, because I cannot. Did the volume go down? I don't know. So, anyways, hope you can hear it. So let's see. Dungeon Finn. Oh, he can get a level up, but I'm not really using him in the party, and I'm not really using Captain Cassie either, so let me unequip that bomb, because the reason I don't want to level up Dungeon Finn is because he uses the same level up currency thing as regular Finn, and for him, obviously I want to level him up more, so I don't want to use up the cupcakes or whatever on the Dungeon Finn. But I will show you that Finn has the Thief King's Dagger, which means his melee attacks give an additional 2 cash per attack, which is pretty awesome. He also has the Glaive of the Ancients, so that the glaives orbit him and pop all the blooms that come nearby, as well as the super amazing overpowered Goo Goo Mama Meter, I guess is what it's called. All balloons take twice as much damage while within the range of the equipped character, so it's pretty awesome. And then, of course, just little dude to make the balloons hit by his attacks get knocked back sometimes, and it increases his pierce by 3. So that's cool. And then, of course, using the amazing 4D sword, which slows balloons, including Moabs, on contact with a 5% chance to destroy them completely, which is pretty awesome. Plus some extra range and plus 12 pierce. Which is amazing. Like, I don't know if I could do that with all the trinkets I have. As well as an ally who I very rarely use, and I don't really have a lot of other allies, so I don't know. I don't really use them very often. So let's see. And I could go through and list all the items and upgrades that all the other characters have, but that would take a while. So my quests right now are actually to do 10 games on Lemon Grab, 10 games on Extreme Difficulty, and 15 games on the Bloon Beacon map, and also 25,000 balloons popped using Juggernaut Max. So, might as well go to the Bloon Beacon, which, dang, I really don't like this map for a couple of reasons, but should be okay, especially since it's on the normal difficulty, so it really shouldn't be that difficult. And I do have the Super Monkey unlocked, but I'm actually kind of not using him right now just because, because he kind of just breaks the game and is too awesome. So let's see. I wasn't paying attention to where it's starting from, so I'm just going to place Finn right here where I know the balloons are going to exit from. And then, even though it does take a while for the balloons to get to him, at least I don't have to worry about the balloons coming in from different entrances. Although I'm pretty sure there's a spot closer to the beginning where all 3 paths will cross. But I mean, Finn does have pretty small range, so it'd be pretty difficult for him to be able to pop on multiple layers, or multiple lanes, I guess. But because of the nature of this map, I'm actually going to use Marceline, because she can just fly around and chase the balloons. Although now that I think about it, I probably should have used Hunter Marceline, because I also have that character. And basically Marceline is the helipilot from Bloons Adventure, and then Hunter Marceline is more like the ace, the monkey ace, based on like their flight patterns and attack patterns and all that. I was actually expecting Lady Rainicorn to be a character that flew around like Marceline, but apparently she's just an ally that you can place on the map, and like you can place her on the water, and then other characters can be placed on top of the little rainbow path or spot that she makes, I guess. I don't know. But so yeah, that was kind of interesting. And now I have enough for Marceline, which I can place the spot near Finn, because then I can just set her to Pursuit. And I really like that the Pursuit ability is just like built in. Like I don't need to worry about upgrading her to have the Pursuit ability. And I'm actually not sure if she's using melee attacks. It seems like it, because she's getting all close to the balloons, but I don't know if that actually counts as melee attacks, because if so, I would probably want to just give her the item that lets you get extra cash per pop, because really, like, she's just popping everything, and it's not going anywhere. Probably, well, I was gonna say a little bit overpowered, but she does cost 1200, which would take a little while to get if you didn't have other equipment on Finn or something. Now, I don't really need to give her improved flight, because she's already popping everything pretty fast, and as I say that, she almost missed a balloon. I could give her Necromancy, which is pretty awesome. Haven't used that effectively yet, because whenever I would use it before, she would end up just doing that basically and defeating all the enemies, or all the balloons near the beginning of the track. But maybe when it switches paths, she'll have some more trouble? No? Okay. Well, she is starting to have a bit more trouble, but the effect ran out. And it takes a little while to reload. Let's see. There's not really anything I can do to increase her popping power, now that I think about it. This one increased the boost given by her musical instrument, which I don't even remember what the instrument was, or like what the effect was. So I don't even know how effective that is. But she does seem to be doing pretty good damage. I'm pretty sure I gave her the Ring of Poison so that the balloons she hits take damage over time. But obviously she's just kind of popping everything already, so it's not really a big deal, I guess. Let's see. I want to keep upgrading her, but the next upgrade is 2000, which is almost twice as much as I have. Improved flight isn't really that necessary. Let's look. Yeah, if I give her improved flight, then she can do telekinesis to use her mind powers to push the balloons back. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. Other than, of course, the eating red, but that's not going to be that useful, because it just basically eliminates the red balloons, which are already pretty easy to pop, and decreases sucks the life out of the BFBs, which I'm not going to run into on normal difficulty. So I guess I should really think about using Marceline on this map more, because I would usually struggle on this map for the most part, just because of the balloons coming out of different entrances and not being able to reliably set up all my towers near her, I guess. If that makes sense. Or I mean, not near her, near where the balloons are coming out of. Yeah, I don't know. But I've got Tuxedo Jake, who can decrease the cost of upgrades, so I probably should have placed him before I bought all of her upgrades. I can still upgrade Finn, but it looks like Marceline's going to be able to carry this on her own, which is pretty cool. And I can use Tuxedo Tuxedo Jake as essentially a banana farm, but it, especially on the shorter rounds, it doesn't make as much sense because it's not for very long. Also, I just realized from that round that my only camo defense are the glaives that surround Finn. But that's fine. Just increase the attack speed for Marceline, and then full orchestra, increase the boost given by all musical instruments. So whatever their boosts are, it's even better now. And if I can get 1485 by the end of this round, then I'll be able to pop camo balloons. But I don't really need to pop the camo balloons. Although I do just realize now that my only lead popping is that ability I was just talking about. So I think I've stalled this indefinitely by making her push back the... Wait a second. How did I get improved necromancy? Like, didn't that require... Wait, how did she get to 6 stars? That... What sorcery is this? I don't know what ability... I have no idea. Well, anyways, since... can I sell him? Not for very much. What would have lead popping that I can get for 435? Not very much. I could just sell Tuxedo Jake. Or I guess I could use one of the powers. Yeah, we'll use the Flame Dogs. And then that'll pop the lead. So I can actually continue with the game. But let's see. I'm probably not going to get enough for... probably not going to get enough for... what am I saying? The ability that lets you pop camo and lead balloons and whatnot. So I'll actually... Well, Marceline can keep doing what she's doing. She'll pop all the other balloons except for the lead. And then I'll just let the... I'll just change her path to just follow my mouse. And I just realized those flame wolves are still running around. How long do they last? Alright, well, level complete. That was easy. Since, it is on the normal difficulty and all that. Now, the other one that I dislike is essentially this same map, except it has some wizards that will debuff your characters, and those can be very annoying. But thankfully, if you place like 5 or 6 characters, then they can't debuff all of them very often. So you're able to kind of get away with relying on a couple strong ones and just letting them debuff the weaker ones, I think. I don't actually know how they target which ones to debuff, but oh well. I could also use, well, I was gonna say the reason why I don't like that first level is because they change where the balloons come from. But the reason on the second level, all the balloons come from the same spot, so it's not as big of an issue. But let's see. I'm going to see about getting Commander Cassie, because I would like to get all the heroes so that I have all of my options available to me. And I have to beat these on extreme, and I wanted to kind of like ease my way up by doing it on hard first. But now that I'm thinking about, oh, also let me check, what's Marceline's ability or weapon? I mean, yeah, that it just increases speed. There's nothing strange about that. So why did Jake like bump her up to another star level? Yeah, all it does is increase range and damage and heals life. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know, maybe it, well, hold on, let me see his upgrades. Which one? Turn it up. Increases the range. increases attack speed, and then just increases the boost. So I don't know what happened. I don't think it's a bug. That'd be a pretty powerful bug. And what's that? Yeah, it just boosts all nearby characters. I don't know. Maybe I should pay attention to that. And see if it actually boosts their star level, because that's pretty helpful. And I never even realized that was a thing. But anyways, on this map, the balloons will come out of 2 different areas at once, which is kind of useful if I can just split up my defenses to guard both entrances, or just place my defenses right where the right where the lanes intersect. So I'll probably just end up doing that. And because this is going all the way up to around 60, I'm going to have to deal with some BFBs and Moabs and a ZOMG. So that's going to be a little bit difficult. Now, the biggest issue is camo balloons, which I actually don't want to deal with very much. So I'm just going to place these little banana guards on the track near the end. So they're just going to help deal with any of the camo balloons that get past Finn, because as you can see, the glaives apparently don't last very long, which again, I don't know if that's a bug or if they just didn't tell you that they go away after a certain amount of time. It's kind of lame. But gonna use Tuxedo Jake again, because apparently he can increase the star level, which is really useful, and would explain why he is so useful, on top of increasing range and all that. And place him in there. And before I actually use any of his upgrades to boost range and attack speed and all that, I'm actually going to go for an upgrade on Finn, which will give me extra cash and lives at the end of each round. Getting extra lives isn't going to be too useful, just because I'm not going to be losing too many lives, and when we get into the later levels, it's very unlikely you're going to lose less than 100 lives, but enough for you to need to get more, if that makes sense. Because if you're going to leak any lives, you're probably going to end up leaking more than 100. So, I don't know, recovering lives is nice, but it's never really, like, my biggest concern. And it is a little bit expensive to get the upgrade. And I don't know if it's an issue with the game itself, or maybe just my phone not being super powerful or whatever, but the game does tend to drop frames quite a bit. Obviously, it's more apparent when a lot of stuff is on screen, but even sometimes just opening like a loot crate or a wish orb or whatever, it'll drop frames then, which doesn't really make much sense to me. But I'm only about halfway there to the upgrade that I want, and you know, it actually took me a while to realize what that strange shadowy effect was when I'm using Finn's sword, and I just realized it's the whole banishing the balloon or whatever, or like how it gets rid of a Moab completely. For some reason I was thinking that only affected Moabs, but I just realized that affects normal balloons too. So let's see. Oh wait, no, not on him. 1218, that's what I gotta wait for, so another 100 or so. So at the end of this round I should be able to buy it. And hello, Jar of Jam! Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. So now I have Brofist, and I'll be gaining extra money after each round. So I can essentially just start building all the rest of my defenses. Starting with Sai, the ninja monkey, which, you know, surprise, surprise, is one of my favorite monkeys, because, you know, it's a ninja monkey. And what I really like about Sai is that they have a lot of upgrades that are pretty cheap, and then, you know, especially so when they're near Tuxedo Jake, which decreases the cost of all the upgrades, so that's pretty cool. But then the ability Marked for Death makes balloons take extra damage, or take like double damage, I think, while they're affected by it. And, you know, thinking back, I probably shouldn't have put the trinket that increases the trinket that increases damage taken by balloons on Finn, one of the characters who has like the smallest range. But anyways, you saw my Dart Monkey only on Unpoppable. Yeah, that was an attempt that did not go very well. But I mean, I tried. I did my best without using like powers or something. I don't know how much more I could have done. But if you want, I can try it again. Maybe on a different map would probably make it a bit easier. But yeah, let me know if you want me to try that again. And let's see. So one of the things that's pretty cool about Sai is they have an ability called Bloonatomy, which does extra damage to Moab and a chance to pop lead, which is pretty cool. But I'm not really going to need to worry about that too much in terms of popping lead, because once I realized that I should probably be buffing Tuxedo Jake or using his upgrades, he allows them to pop any type of balloon, kind of like the Monkey Intelligence Bureau. So one thing that I kind of want to mention is it's really interesting how in Bloons Tower Defense 6, there's really kind of an emphasis on a trade-off of abilities where you could increase your sniper to do a lot of damage and attack pretty quickly, but it's not going to have the camo detection. Or give it camo detection and attack really fast, but it's not going to do a lot of damage per shot. Whereas in this game, it seems like all of these heroes, specifically the Adventure Time ones, they feel like a combination of like 2 or 3 different towers or monkeys in from Bloons, which I think is really interesting. But Jar, to answer your question, how far am I in the game? I almost feel like I've beaten it, but not quite. Like I feel like I'm close to beating it because I have a lot of high quality trinkets and characters to be able to get past the hardest difficulty. Like I've been able to beat the bad only once. Like I've only tried it once, but I was able to beat it, and it was on an easy map. So I mean, you know, it's a little subjective on how good it is or whatever. But yeah, I have some really good equipment. Do I have all the paid towers? Yes, I did end up buying the 3 paid heroes: Tuxedo Jake, Dungeon Finn, and Hunter Marceline. Really the most, or the thing that I enjoyed the most was getting Tuxedo Jake because he's just a really awesome tower or character. Hunter Marceline, I wasn't a huge fan of just because it's essentially one of my least favorite towers from Bloons Tower Defense 6, because she's essentially like the monkey ace, basically. And even regular Marceline, she is pretty powerful, but she's not very flashy. Like she doesn't do anything very interesting, I guess. But let me just buff Finn for a bit. But what I think is really interesting about the point I was talking about earlier about how the Adventure Time characters almost feel like a combination of a bunch of different towers from Bloons Tower Defense 6 is Ice King. He's essentially a combination of the Ice Tower, of course, the tack shooter, and a sniper, like all in one tower, which is a pretty interesting combination when you put them all together. Because the Ice King, not only, as I use him, not only using an Ice Tower, and I have awesome range trinkets on this guy. The Crown Influence, balloons are frozen for longer and move slower. Also, real quick, before I continue, are you able to hear the game, Jar? Because it is incredibly quiet, and I don't know if you guys can hear it. So if you can't hear it, let me know and I'll raise it up. But, so anyways, Ice Tower, or for Ice King, he has Wizard Eyes, so we can see the camo balloons, which I don't really need, because I've already got Jake to take care of the camo ability or whatever. But it is useful. Or I do need to buy that upgrade in order to get the next upgrade after Chilled to the Bone, which makes his magic penetrate more balloon layers. You can hear the game? Alright, cool. And then there's Winter Weather, which is essentially the Arctic Wind, which the air around Ice King slows balloons on contact. So with that, his range is huge. I do wish that, because there's a trinket that I put on Finn that makes all balloons within his range take double damage, and I really wish I put that on Ice King. I did have it on him for a while, but then, you know, I was changing things up and I decided just to put it on Finn. But I do kind of wish I put that on Ice King, because then all the balloons within that range will take extra damage, which is pretty cool. What fast food do I eat? I tend to go to Taco Bell, Panda Express, occasionally McDonald's, but not that often. Where else? Chick-fil-A, other places. But anyways, so the ice bolts essentially turn him into a attack tower for the most part. Colder ice essentially increases the range, which, I don't know, colder ice doesn't really seem like the right name for that. I get why it is that, but it doesn't really seem like the right name. Anyways, faster freezing, he fires ice bolts even faster, which again, faster freezing seems like it should be the freezing effect that gets faster, not the ice bolts. And then hail, actually. Taco Bell's not in New Zealand or Chick-fil-A. Interesting. It is kind of strange for me to think about like what fast food places are and aren't in other areas. Like, I get that McDonald's is everywhere because it's known for being everywhere, but I never really think about how Taco Bell isn't an international sensation. But anyways, then Lightning Strike is essentially a sniper ability where just ice lightning shoots down anywhere on the map. And I don't even know if you can like target it, because it's definitely not going for the first balloon all the time. And then you can do freeze lightning so that the lightning can freeze things. Pretty self-explanatory. So let's see. Hold on. Okay, so star level 3, star level 3, star level 4. So if I do full orchestra, yeah, they're still at that level. So if I put Marceline right here, yeah, they're still the same. Base expert. Okay, so that increased her star level, but not anyone else. So that's interesting. Let's have her follow the balloons and improve flight and telekinesis, just for the sake of it. Because at this point, I wasn't even paying attention, but I must have taken down a blimp because I'm on round 44. So yeah, and here comes 2 blimps that shouldn't really be much of an issue, because Finn has an attack that will deal extra damage to a Moab and stun it. You don't like Ice King because he's like an ice tower. You've not used him upgraded yet. He is definitely not that good when you don't have a lot of upgrades or trinkets on him, but like I was saying before, when you buff his range like that and give him Arctic Wind, he's a fantastic support tower. I really just get the ice bolts and the lightning just for the sake of making him more useful, but I mostly just use him for the Arctic Wind, essentially. And let's see, I'll do the Eating Bread upgrade, just because now I'm actually going to be taking down BFBs, so I'd like to actually, you know, be able to destroy them. And I think I'll save up for shapeshifting, but not right now, because okay, so Finn, he has an ability that does extra damage to Moabs, or an upgrade that lets him do extra damage to Moabs, on top of an ability that lets him attack Moabs and stun them pretty quickly. And his sword has a chance at just deleting balloons that it hits. So that's pretty awesome. On top of that, Sai does extra damage. Did I give shield class? Maybe I think I gave that to Max. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Totally awesome. Oh, that's right. Sai has an ability that lets her do extra damage to Moabs as well, and has an ability that, or upgrade that makes the balloons that she attacks do extra, or take extra damage. So those two alone can do massive damage to Moabs. You don't really like normal Jake? I also didn't like normal Jake until I gave him a few upgrades, and then he was able to almost solo the normal rounds, so I tended to use him a lot. So yeah, it kind of goes back and forth between I will dislike a character because they don't seem very powerful, but then I give them the right upgrades and then they're super powerful, and it's really interesting. And because it's part of my daily challenge, I'm going to give Juggernaut Max some upgrades, or use him and whatnot. And yeah, do the snowball effect or snowball upgrade, so that now the Juggernaut, or now Juggernaut Max, can freeze or at least chill Bloons with his attacks, which is kind of cool. And of course, I've got Tuxedo Jake to make sure he can pop all types of Bloons. Do I know One Piece? Yes. I am well aware of One Piece. I have not watched very much of it. I've seen some, but I mean, compared to how long it is, I've barely seen a tiny speck of it. But I was definitely a fan back when it was new-ish, because I used to read Shonen Jump. But let's see, where do I want to put this? I'll put Flame Princess right here, near Finn, because she has a good trinket that I added to her as well, where actually 2 different trinkets that both have a percentage chance to stun Bloons that it hits. So with her flamethrower, she does a lot of hits very quickly, so she can basically perma-stun Bloons, or blimps, I mean, to make sure that they stay within the range of Finn, and he can just annihilate them, essentially. But you're up to episode 254. I'm probably, if I went back and counted, at episode 20 or something, I don't know. I used to watch it when it was just regular cartoons on TV, and I didn't realize what anime was, essentially, or at least around that time frame, so many years ago. But I know that in the manga it's at actually no, I think it's even in the show, it's on episode 900 and something, maybe even close to 1,000. I don't know if they've reached 1,000 yet, but it's definitely in the 900s, I think. Let's see. Now I actually have the Fire Crown upgrade, or trinket, I mean, so that I can get Flame Princess and nearby allies to attack faster. But well, actually, now that I think about it, that would be pretty useful. but apparently it wasn't necessary, so that's why I didn't do it. Does buying stuff in the game get rid of ads? Specific things. It'll tell you if it removes ads by buying it. I think the least you have to spend is $6. But I ended up buying just the triple pack, just so I can get all those characters and remove ads. And I do want to mention that I got pretty far into the game before I bought the stuff. Buying the characters was really nice and useful, and it helps me get even further. But it really did just take a little bit of grinding and doing the daily challenges to get a couple good trinkets. And then those trinkets were able to carry me pretty far into the game to get more trinkets. So I don't want to advocate for just buying the stuff. Also, I am just realizing that is this going on forever? Is this just a regrow farm that's going on? Should I stop Marceline or something? I think she's finally making some progress, but yeah, hold on, let me. Well, no, never mind. I was trying to think what can I just place down there, but she's popping them. Oh well. Are they OP? Kind of. They're definitely useful. Hunter Marceline, in my opinion, is the least useful of the 3, just because I personally don't really like her abilities or her upgrades. But she has her uses, I'm sure. She was pretty useful on 1 or 2 maps. But just in general, I don't really like using Hunter Marceline. And like I said earlier, I'm not a huge fan of regular Marceline either. But Dungeon Finn has some interesting upgrades, but I would prefer regular Finn because he does more damage specifically to Moabs, rather than just kind of damage in general. And Dungeon Finn has more range, I think. but what was I gonna say? The main thing is Tuxedo Jake. Being able to buff towers, allow them to pop every kind of balloon, and in order to pop every kind of balloon and generate cash is a very useful upgrade. Even though I'm not really using it right now, the cash generating part. Will I stream tomorrow? That is the plan. As far as I know, nothing's going to stop me from streaming tomorrow, but I don't know. We'll see. Also, I do really want to place something. I'm going to place Fire King or Flame King down here. And he doesn't have camo detection. Of course not. Or does he? Did I just give him camo detection? I wasn't paying attention. Let's see. I don't think there's anything I can place to like grant him camo detection. But at least he's decent, I guess. The Moabs look more 3D in this game. Yeah, more 3D than Bloons Adventure 6, you mean? Or just like more 3D in general? I don't know what I really mean by that. But let's see. See, I put Flame King down there so that he could pop some balloons and the regrows wouldn't be as much of an issue. But he's not popping the camo balloons because he doesn't have camo detection. And I don't think I can give him camo detection. Well, I could put Princess Bubblegum down there, and that could help. Might as well. Actually, hold on. Let's see. If I can put him within her range, what if I do it from over here? If I put her within his range, or if I place her so that he's within her range, and do the catchy tunes, then characters receiving boosts from Jake will give that boost to characters near them. I think that'll apply the buff to him. I've never actually tested that. How long will I stream for? Just until the end of this round. I was thinking of just going to 6, but there's only 6 more rounds left, so I might as well finish up. And is it? Yeah, I mean, it's not just me, because obviously you guys can only see what I see on the game, but the frame rate really does drop quite a bit. And I'm almost afraid of either my phone overheating or my battery just dying while I'm charging it, just because this game does take quite a bit of battery life. So that's always fun. But let's see. I mean, Flame King is popping some regular balloons. That's nice. And I don't know, I don't think Marceline has the ability to remove camo and regrow effects. I think that's the other Marceline. Is there a ZOMG in this level? Yes, that is round 60. And this is, well, yeah, this is basically just the hard mode, but they call it extreme just because they don't want to call the regular mode easy, so they just call that normal, rather than like medium, I think is what it's called on Bloons Adventure 6. I really should know that. But let's see, catchy tunes. So now I believe he should be able to pop camo balloons, but can't really tell. I think so, because he's also popping the purple balloons, or at least dealing damage to them. Is there a super monkey? Yes. I do have him, and he is incredibly powerful. So I've kind of opted not to use him so that I have more of a reason to use all my other characters. Because if I was using just the super monkey, I could literally beat this with like Finn, Tuxedo Jake, Super Monkey, and then maybe Flame Princess, just for the sake of it. But this way, at least I'm using all of my towers, or at least most of them. And I still don't even use the allies very much. I just put up the banana guards because I didn't really want to lose any more lives. I mean, and Tuxedo Jake regenerates lives, so didn't even need the banana guards. But let's see. I guess I can use super intelligence. Why don't I use max? Just because I'm already upgrading everything else, and max, in my opinion, is specifically good for taking down Moabs in the later rounds, or at least helping take them down. In the earlier rounds, he's better at popping lead and camo balloons, but obviously with Tuxedo Jake, everyone's able to pop everything. So just at the moment, there's not really a need for max. If I was playing on the impoppable difficulty and going up to round 75, then I'd probably end up using Max just because of having more time and more money. Also, just realized I'm using Flame King, so he is an ally. You use him for lead, yeah. Also, part of the triple character pack with Dungeon Fin and all that, you get the like Thunder Sword, I think that's what it's called, or like Lightning Sword or something, that allows Finn to pop lead, which is super useful. I almost prefer that sword over the 4D sword, but the 4D sword has a chance to just destroy balloons, like automatically. So that's pretty useful. And then here you can actually see Flame Princess just stunning the balloons, or the blimps, to keep them from moving. And then I'm pretty sure Finn just, you know, annihilated it. But let's see, I wanted to do Super Intelligence and Balloon Science so that she does a little bit more damage to Moab class balloons. Not that we need it. And that is pretty interesting that because of all the stunning and slowing and weakening of blimps, I can get up to round 75 pretty easily. The heroes from BTD6, that would make sense, in my opinion, to bring them in rather than just add all these new different heroes. But I was gonna say, like, I can get up to round 75 pretty easily, but then the bad is resistant to like all the reasons I can get up to it pretty well. So the bad is actually a bit of a challenge. But with powers, and I'm sure once I get a few more trinkets, like a few more epic trinkets, I'll be able to defeat it no problem. But here we go. So the ZOMG is a bit tough, but on the other hand, it hasn't reached my main balloon or blimp taking down attack force or whatever. Yeah, the bad is bad. So Marceline's just going ham, and I didn't even upgrade. Hold on, let me see, what can I sell? I'm gonna sell Princess Bubblegum so that I can give Marceline. That's not Marceline, that's not Marceline. Where is Marceline's thing? There we go. Shapeshifting! So that she can go all shapeshifty and stuff and do more damage, I guess. That crossbow dart monkey, that is Juggernaut Max. He was actually kind of difficult to get. He was a bit late in the game that I was able to get him. But it's strange that he's using a giant crossbow rather than a catapult. Like, I don't get it. He totally should have been in a catapult. But he does have catapult allies, which is kind of interesting. But anyways, so that was the Underwater Mall. And the whole point of me doing this was I wanted to work my way up to unlocking the final chapter, or not the final chapter, the final character or hero that I haven't unlocked yet is Commander Cassie, who I've heard is pretty good, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't used her, and I'm obviously pretty awesome on my own, so. But let's see, what am I gonna get from this rare Wish Orb? Let's see, the Thief Crossbow, which all range attacks give an additional 1 cash per 10 pops. You know, that's probably good, but that definitely doesn't seem as good as all melee attacks giving me 2 cash per 1 pop. Like this, that just seems so much less useful. The Ice Crook I already have. It's 15% range, additional 5% if equipped to Ice King, and I do have it on Ice King. The Garlic Bomb increases blast radius by 10%. Balloons hit by explosion take 1 damage per second. That is good, but I really don't use either of the characters that use bombs. The C4 Charlie and Captain Cassie, I think her name is. I don't know, I just don't really use them very often. So, I mean, I'm gonna... Well, you know what? I'll use the Thief Crossbow. Even though I don't think that 1 cash per 10 pops is that good, it's probably better than nothing, I guess. So I'll figure out which character I want to put that on. Probably the Super Monkey, since he has so many attacks. Well, yeah, so much poppage, I guess. But anyways, probably off stream, I'll play through the rest of these 3 maps and get Commander Cassie. Unless you guys don't want me to. Like, if you would prefer for for me to show that on stream or like in a video. I could record it and then just like fast forward through it or something, just because I don't want to record commentary for it, I guess. But yeah, and I'm at 90% for the shards I need to get my own epic wish orb, because I've just been saving up all of my shards. Like, as much as I've played this game, I only have 3,000 shards, and I need 3,500 for the wish orb. Like, I'm so close, and I don't want to just get like a super rare one or a rare. Like, I want to save up and actually get an epic thing. But let's see. Did anyone get anything that I would think is useful? Flame Princess? Yeah, you can level up to level 4. And what'll you get? One more trinket slot. And you know what? I'm gonna give you the extra cash per pop. Cool. Are epics good? Oh yeah, they are. At least the ones I have. So real quick before I end stream, the epic sword, it's 15% range plus 1% per 2 stars, 12 pierce, which is amazing, plus 3 per 2 stars, and it slows balloons including Moabs on contact with a 5% chance to destroy them completely. So very powerful, very awesome. The glaives, honestly, I'm a little not impressed because they tend to just go away after a little bit, like after popping a few balloons, and they don't even come back. I don't know if that's a bug or not. And then this one, all balloons take twice as much damage while within the range of the equipped character. So I need to put that back on Ice King because his range is incredible and will just make everything take twice as much damage. It's awesome. But let's see. Still need Commander Cassie. And I think that was it. I think that was all the epic things I have. Let's see. Collection. Rarity. No. Highest. Oh, right. Yeah, so his, there we go. The Thunder Sword, plus 2 damage and plus 15% speed, pops lead, and every 5th attack fires lightning, which is pretty useful. And then there's the, this violin, which is 15% range, plus 1 damage, which I actually didn't notice, or didn't realize. And heals 1 life per round for each character in range, excluding allies. So, pretty awesome. And that, in case you don't know, instruments affect not only the person equipped with it, but also everyone within its range. So that's pretty awesome. And then the silver-tipped stakes, which I just realized I could probably give to others. I don't know if only Marceline can use this. But it's extra 2 damage and 6 pierce. And regen and zombie balloons hit by attacks lose their properties. So that's cool. There are epic allies, but I don't think I... Oh, no, yeah. I do have one. Lady Rainicorn, which creates a little rainbow platform for you to place, like, water... I think you can place water characters on land and land characters on water and whatnot. But I don't really use it that often because I don't really have any water characters to place on land, and generally... The only land character I put on water is Ice King, but I don't know. It depends on the situation. Let's see, and any other epic trinkets? That's not right. There we go. Nope, I don't. Oh no, never mind. Blech. I do have those 2 epic trinkets. Epic weapons, yeah. Allies. Cool. But anyways, stream has gone on long enough. You have the boomerang ally? Me too. But that's going to be it for this stream. Thank you for joining. And let me know what you want to see in the next Bloons Adventure Time video, because there's a lot of maps. A lot of them. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.